Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Christian Johnston, with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
And welcome in to The Morning Rush here on this Hot Take Monday. I always wonder what it's like for a golfer to go through a round of any sort or a weekend where you are clearly the villain, which Wyndham Clark found himself in that position this weekend based on what happened at Oakmont. Is that the only reason, because of the trashing of the locker last year? Because this is a guy that has now won his second U.S. Open. He's a good golfer. He's got a beautiful girlfriend. He's got seemingly it all. And
all those guys have it all.
Yeah, that is true.
Name me one of them out there that doesn't have it. Other than the 2 U.S. Open titles, they all have it all.
And it's just it's one of those things where he had to deal with it throughout the round. Obviously, Scotty has Father's Day, his birthday, going for the Grand Slam. They want him. The patrons, the people in attendance want him to win, and yet Wyndham ended up. You didn't really see Sunday Scotty yesterday.
You're talking about the kicking in of the locker at Oakmont last year. I don't think that had as much to do with it as the crowd just wanted to see Scotty Scheffler win the career Grand Slam. And to me, Wyndham Clark does not come across as a unlikable fellow. I thought he was fairly likable in all his body language on the course. And then, I judge it more about what you hear in the curated sound bites that come out, on Golf Channel or whatever else. But it's the national championship, and he's done something twice that very few golfers have won that event 2 times in their career, and 2 times in 3 years.
Yeah, it's 23, and then this year, so 2 times and having the success. And you mentioned the class aspect. Here's him with Tarico after.
Didn't really like me. I love you guys, but I get it. Some of it's self-deserved. I did some unfortunate things last year that I really regret, and I'm been sorry multiple times, and I'm still sorry. So hopefully I can win you guys over eventually. But I get it. They root for Scotty. Grand Slams only happened a few times, so he's gonna get it. I mean, he's the best player in the world. But today's my day.
Like you said, solid answer. Didn't have any issues with that whatsoever. I'll tell you what, Sam Burns was kicking. He was went 3 birdies and 4 holes, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, Wyndham bogeyed 3 of 4, I think, or 2 of 3.
Bogeyed 17. There was it 17 down the stretch, and
I'm just starting to start because Burns was hot.
He leaked oil yesterday.
And you're thinking, okay, is he going to choke this? And he just held on, and he went, like you said, birdie, then bogey, like 16, 17 back to back. And you're thinking, is he going to blow this last hole? Well, came up with the par. And
the lag putt on 18 was incredible because he was, I don't know if he hit it fat or just misclubbed it, but it came up well short of the pin on the final hole. That is difficult to lag one within a foot under that pressure, and particularly with the speed of those greens. So you saw his family and everybody; they knew it was over when he was within a foot. So that was more difficult than I think any of us realized.
I think so. We talk about team sports 90+% of the time on our airwaves. When you think about the football team, the basketball team, the baseball team here at Arkansas, we obviously touch into SEC football, Arkansas softball, NFL, and whatnot. And I know you've got a caddy there, and I know you've had a coach that's led you in this direction, do this, do that. But I do think it's cool from an individual standpoint. It's basically all on you. If you failed, no one's going to point to the caddy and say, he screwed you, he did this, he did that. I know you've had golfers.
The coach doesn't like me, that's why he didn't play me.
Yeah,
it's the greatest. That's why it's the greatest sport in the world. It's the hardest to master. But it's as you said, there's no one else to blame. If it goes great, you deserve 98% of the credit. If it goes bad, you deserve 100% of the blame. So that's one of the great things about golf. I guess bowling would be the only other sport you could, maybe equate that to. Tennis, perhaps, but it was a fun watch, and it was a difficult track over the weekend. All right, we begin with golf here this day after Father's Day. Hopefully, everyone had a great Father's Day weekend out there. Maybe you're doing some mowing. Summer is officially here. We've had our quote unquote longest day of the year, and now summer is finally here as we're into the second half of the year, more or less, here towards the end of the June. And when the workday's done, that's when the good stuff begins. Whether it's fishing, off-roading, or just enjoying the great outdoors, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can help make it happen. Visit myaglender.com or drop by any one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and start making the most of your time off. Do you have a big weekend?
I went to Dallas, saw some friends, going to celebrate Father's Day a day late with my dad and my bonus mom tonight. Going to take him out to dinner at one of his favorite spots. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Got to see some other family. Got to see another, my uncle, my cousin, my brother. So saw a lot of family and friends this weekend. What about yourself?
Played golf Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow.
Avoided rain all 3 days.
Got rain the first few days this week, and it looks like the weekend
played fairly well by my standards all weekend, so that was good.
Tournament coming up, that's big.
Yeah, so games rounding into form. Hopefully I haven't peaked early. Then my mom made a fabulous meal last night and celebrated Father's Day with my children and my mom and my, as you say, bonus mom, my mother-in-law, Miss Pearl. So it was great.
What about you, Big C? Did you and Carl talk on the phone yesterday?
Yeah, I did call him yesterday morning. But yeah, I had a good weekend. It was a beautiful weekend weather-wise. I went to Branson, saw my papaw. He was down from Oregon, saw some family. But yeah, it was a good weekend.
For you.
That's a good way to spend Father's Day weekend in Branson.
Got our first Saturday afternoon, or at least where I was at. Sun came out late, and I mean the heat and the humidity. It wasn't sweltering like it's going to be. But I'm telling you, we kind of got our first hit of some real heat on Saturday in the River Valley. So it is coming, and looks like we're going to get some rain this week.
It was hot. I'm a big fan. I didn't really wear the sun hats. The sun hat to me, like since we started with golf, the sun hat, whether you're golfing, you're at the lake, you're just outside mowing the lawn, the sun hat to me is the most versatile hat in the bag because it covers not just your face. It covers your ears. It covers your neck. It doesn't get all out to the shoulders. It's not one of those Kentucky Derby female hats that covers
like
the
those.
entire. Well, I'm not wearing
one.
I'm not wearing those. But the sun hat, I feel like you have to be a certain age to start sporting them. I'm at that age where I feel comfortable sporting a sun hat, and it's just you don't get sunburned.
And your dermatologist will approve.
Yes, yeah. And I'm bad about wearing sunscreen. Didn't wear much of it at all this weekend. Got some sun, and hopefully.
Do you have a dermatologist? Do you go to a dermatologist?
Yes, I do.
You go to one, Big C? I'm 50, never been to one. So I was online this weekend, and I've at least sent an inquiry in about getting I guess at 50. I don't have a reason why. I don't have like this, hairy mole that I need them to look at. But I hear so many of my friends talk about, well, I went in, they said that was melanoma.
Well, it's kind of like the prostate. Isn't that like a requirement once you hit 40? You just need to go once a year?
Well, the blood work, to get your number. But I'm afraid the other thing, the colonoscopy's coming up now at 50. But I've been encouraged to at least see a dermatologist.
Probably smart.
And just get checked.
Your friends are looking out for you.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you a setup of the show today. So in just a bit, I know we had some basketball news. Got a commitment from the Big Russian. Cal talked about going to the Bahamas. He's talked about this team at practice a little bit, so we'll discuss that. North Carolina evens it against Oklahoma yesterday. So Game 3 tonight with the Sooners and the Tar Heels. I'm surprised. I was expecting you to wear baby blue in honor of North Carolina today.
A little bit.
A little dark.
I got my U.S. Open, my Oakmont U.S. Open shirt from last year, but no, I am Tar Heel baby blue tonight.
U.S. won again. Defeated Australia. They have a 6-1 goal differential thus far in the World Cup. It's been nice to see them have success.
Part of the tiebreaker, I ask with a question mark? Okay.
Yeah, but we're in. We're good. We're moving on. And now hopefully I forget who's next on the schedule. I should know that.
Turkey?
I watched the game.
I want to say Turkey.
Yeah, that's right. I just forget what time it is this week. Speaking of the World Cup.
Stand by and I'll tell you. I'll interrupt in a moment and tell you.
The NFLPA loves what they're seeing with the real grass in these NFL fields. Do you like turf or grass better? Like, how the baseball team, whether it's going to Lexington or when they go to these various places, it's a turf field. Like in Lawrence, for example. Do you like seeing football, baseball on turf, or do you like the real grass? I'm a fan of the real grass. We'll get to that. George Wilson's going to join us. He met with the team last week. He's going to join us at 10 a.m. So we caught up with him last November in the midst of a 2-10 season. Excited to hear from him about this conversation he had with the team. What do you got?
Thursday night, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Play Turkey. Doesn't say on here where the game is. I know they were in Seattle. I think it's back in L.A. I think it's at SoFi, if I remember
I'll
right.
say what Fox has done, and like Big Noon Kickoff is okay. I'll occasionally flick over. I'm mostly watching College Game Day on Saturday if we're not in the midst of our own Arkansas game day. But the setup that Fox has given fans, not just that are in attendance, but also on television, it feels very SEC football-ish if you've watched any World Cup coverage, not just featuring the U.S., but other teams as well. I thought they've done a really good job of capturing the excitement level for this soccer thus far. Christian was here at 6:40 this morning.
Yeah,
He's
I was
back
ready
with
to
us
go.
here on the Morning Rush. He was ripping. I hear the door open. I was like, who is that? And supposed to be here at 7. Got here 20 minutes. Was just anxious.
Gotta start it
Anxious
off
this
right.
morning. Got to get started off
You're going to
right.
find it makes your day easier.
There's a, what's the old Benjamin Franklin quote? Early to bed, early to rise makes a man wealthy and wise. I think there's one more word in that, but
Healthy, wealthy, and wise.
there it is. There it is. I've just got natural. I woke up. You know what time I woke up on Friday on my day off? 4:30.
Yeah. Last
And
2
I didn't
days
go
I've
back
been
to
up.
sleep.
I've been up. I was up at 10 till 4 this morning. No, 10 after 4. Pardon me. And Saturday I got no. There was no sleep in this weekend. So get up, start reading, start getting ready. So
Gripping and ripping.
Yep.
Getting to the day. Well, I did some reading of this week. I try, like, when I show back up on Monday, I do my best because I have so many deficiencies in areas. So I'm like, okay, I need to look and see what happened the last couple days, read emails, go over some notable news. Well, basketball got some good news. Did you dictate who's going to the Bahamas yet? I'll be in Idaho. Are you going to go?
no,
Are you going to finally pull the trigger and go to one of these crazy type of events?
it's not. It's a practice.
Okay. Well,
I wish they'd have told us more than 4 weeks out,
yeah,
5 weeks out.
It is pretty tight. But, we got some music to help you out.
We just got done with practice. I had 2 days I got to be with my team. Oh my gosh, am I excited. All I would tell you is, working out with my team, we got a chance.
This whole freshman class is great. I mean, the runs that we be having, don't even look like freshmen. I can say that. For sure.
JJ sure don't look like no freshman, does he?
So don't. And he play hard. He play real hard. That boy, he gonna be nice.
This is the opening drive.
If you're an Arkansas media person, you got a chance to take in a little bit of football practice. We're 76 days out from this upcoming football season. Umpteen more days out from basketball. Mentioned the Bahamas trip that they announced. Was it during the show on Friday or did you get that? Was it Thursday
I don't remember
maybe?
the time. I think it's Thursday.
But y'all had time to talk about it
Yeah.
on Friday. You mentioned
We
kind of
did
being
talk
a
about it.
glorified practice. South Carolina, I guess, is
well,
going.
and it also shows you the modern financing of college athletics. These international trips and these things that you are allowed to do every so often in basketball. Where they've been to Italy, they've been where else have they been in Europe, Spain, and in Italy? I know they've played games over there in recent years. We're not going to fly quite that far this time. The Bahamas won't be cheap, but it's not like going to Europe.
No.
So, even that kind of stuff is getting scaled back in today's rev share NIL world.
I saw in the release, Cal was talking about just the ability to bond with the team. And you think about the number of new players. So you've got Billy Richmond, who's the main holdover, the main key cog from last year's team. But with the addition that you just got from the Russian big man,
Amelia Frodov. I'm from Russia.
Amelia Frodov. That's another guy that's not really
Who
played.
said it better, you or him?
Let's try this again.
Amelia Frodov. I'm from Russia.
Amelia Frodov. I'm from Russia. I think he did.
Pretty equal.
Yeah,
I
pretty
feel
close.
pretty good about the center spot now.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
lot better than I did.
I think people do feel that way. I think you've got 2 roster spots remaining.
I think that was my next question. Is there still 2 left? So
So, you got a chance, if you're a fan, and Hunter Yurchek gives you a golden ticket, say, hey, you can go watch football practice when it starts back in fall camp, or you can watch one basketball. Is the easy answer just I'd rather see a basketball
did
practice?
you say all of football or one basketball, or did you
We'll
say
do
one
all.
of each?
We'll do all. All sounds better.
You can go to every football practice or one basketball practice.
Leading up. No, I'm saying all in all.
No, I'm just saying, which would you choose? One,
Oh.
all of football, or just one basketball practice?
You know, and I'm actually going to surprise you and say football.
Yeah.
Because I want to just solidify that I think KJ is going to be the starting quarterback this fall. In my head. And that's the closer sport. We'll still have several weeks, several months out from
I think that's the smart
that.
answer, but
Yeah.
you had to think about it a second, didn't you?
Yeah, and one, like
Because one you're more excited about, one you're more skeptical about.
I don't think there's any question.
And I don't know if watching every practice is going to make you more hopeful or more skeptical. I don't know.
And I guess really, when would be the year that you've been more excited about football than basketball in the last 5 or so? I'm trying to think of that. Maybe it was probably after the 21 season when you went 9-4, and you're thinking to yourself, we could maybe do this. We could replicate this. We could do this again. Now, the basketball team, keep in mind, had just gone to the Elite Eight. And so you had both kind of in your hip pocket.
You thought Sam was turning the corner at that point.
And then, unfortunately, 7-6, the Texas A&M KJ fumble up 14-0 that will live in infamy for probably the rest of our lives. But when would be that? I guess 21. I guess probably 5 years ago.
That'd be fair.
Is that fair?
If not, it'd be before Muss.
Yeah.
Really, the last 2 years for me, it's been just the last 2 years, it's been kind of.
Well, let's be honest.
Kind of dreary.
I mean, we're dancing around the main thing. We have more confidence in Cal than we do.
Yeah.
Silverfield. I mean, that's no knock on Ryan Silverfield. This guy's a Hall of Famer, and he's the face of the sport, and he's to some degree a gold standard. His results haven't been as great as others, but he's still the one person everybody wants to hear from, and we have confidence based on his track record of getting it done that he will. So, I mean, that's not really fair to Ryan Silverfield, but that's the reality is we just have more faith in John Calipari.
Big C, where's the and I know I'm asking you a question you might not know offhand. Where's the NBA draft tomorrow night? I don't remember. Okay, it's Brooklyn.
Okay.
Tomorrow in
yeah,
Brooklyn.
I would not have known.
I would guess, unless he's got recruiting stuff he's doing, I guess you'd probably see Cal there in attendance at Darius's table.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There's kind of, and I listened.
I mean, there's no question where he's going to be.
I listened to Cal over, I think it was last Friday, and
I can't imagine those players won't. I mean, the NBA, the players pretty well go because it's a shorter event than compared to the NFL.
Yeah.
So I cannot imagine he wouldn't be there. I mean, I'd bank on it.
There's almost like heading into tomorrow night, there's almost like it's, and I'm forgetting the fourth guy. It's DeBanza, it's Boozer, it's Peterson, and there's one other guy that's in that 4 category that are like, okay, these are guys who are going top 4 in no certain order.
It'll be interesting to see with Peterson the way he load managed his season at Kansas. Does that cost him? Does he lose a spot or two as a result of that? You may not know directly the answer, but that's going to be one of the things that people talk about, and it is one of the knocks on him.
And if he doesn't lose a spot, does that cause other players to see him not slide and say, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to take the Darren Peterson approach when it comes to certain nicks and bruises that I might develop throughout the season. That was a weird deal. The Nick Smith thing was weird here, but Nick wouldn't pull himself out of a game. DP look over itself, give him the finger wag, and then just walk to the bench. That was the weirdest deal in a college basketball situation that I'd seen in quite some time.
Or he just didn't play.
Caleb Wilson, I think, was
that's the other one. Thank you, Caleb Wilson, North Carolina, because that's kind of, and Cal's been on the record, and obviously it's his guy, but he just keeps saying over and over, miss on him, you're gonna regret it. So we'll see what NBA teams in the future years regret passing on Darius Aycock.
Maybe get into his motivation on some of these videos he's put out, the appearances he's made. Let's talk about that maybe in our Hog Update coming up. All right, that's the opening drive. It's brought to you by WT Equipment. If you're still struggling, because we're all mowing now. We've had enough rain and enough 70-degree nights. We are mowing grass. So your friends at WT Equipment have a great offer this month on Hustler zero-turn mowers. 0% financing for up to 48 months on select Hustler models. You can get that right now. Hustler's known for commercial-grade performance, legendary durability, and warranties ranging from 3 to 5 years. So if you're investing in a new mower this year, get one that's built to last, and that's a Hustler. And whether you're maintaining just a few acres or you're making your work fast and easier and you're a commercial mower, WT Equipment has the right Hustler for you. Stop by WT Equipment, Springdale, Rogers, Berryville, or Searcy. Learn more today at WTEquip.com. That's WTEquip.com.
The other element to this that Scott, the tortilla guy, points out on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline is Darren Peterson only worked out for Washington. The Wizards hold the number 1 pick. So that is another, like, the holding himself out of games this season, taking himself out, and then also it's like, hey, I'm only working out for this team. Personally, I don't wish ill will on the kid, but I would rather see him slide than be selected number 1. Is that too harsh of a take tomorrow night?
Needs to be humbled a little bit, sounds like.
Is that too harsh of a take? No?
I don't like anyone that appears to have a stench of quitting on your team.
And especially when
I think quitting on your team is the worst thing anyone can do.
What did we watch firsthand from number 5 this year? Playing through injuries, playing through pain. I mean, you saw that ankle he dealt with for a good chunk of the season. Cal basically had to pull him out of the Missouri game, said you can't play this last game before the SEC tournament. So that's just maybe our partialities coming out there.
All right, Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open, 877-377-6963 for your calls or text. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Tommy mentioned kind of something. We'll get into our hog update. Plus, Cal had some things to say about TB and Malik. The Morning Rush continues on this Hot Take Monday.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963. This is the Morning Rush.
On a cattle ranch, calves are...
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's Lutz boxes are curated to perfection. The refined $5 box, opulent $7 box, and the abundance of the $9 box, featuring the Fajita Street chalupas with boldly seasoned peppers and onions. Each delivers a satisfying symphony of flavors, but all that Lutz might go to your head.
Monsieur, check please.
You already paid. That's literally your receipt.
I wanna hear.
Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Bass Pro Drive, just off Rogers Avenue. Step inside and discover the Pradco store within a store, where you can design a custom autographed lure from iconic shapes like the Head and Spook, Concordell Redfin, and many others. Add your name, a message, or whatever sparks your imagination. Whether you're gearing up for the water or grabbing a one-of-a-kind gift, it's all happening now at the Bass Pro Outpost. Come make something unforgettable.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Need more customers? I'm Lance Gregory with ESPN Arkansas. Let me help you grow your business with the power of radio and digital marketing working together. From radio advertising to targeted digital campaigns, I can help you reach the right audience, increase awareness, and drive results for your business. Let's build a marketing plan that fits your goals and gets new customers. Email me today at lance.gregory@hitthatline.com. Radio and digital sales combined, helping local businesses grow.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And McFadden goes 73 yards. And Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Ride.
What about Trevin Brazil, TB? The year he had, 6'10", head on the rim, above the square blocking shots. Flying, how about being able to make a three-point shot? All the intangibles that they're looking for in the league.
Darius is kind of in his own category with the 3 guys that are going to be drafted from this Arkansas basketball team. Guess Darius and Malik are going to go off the board tomorrow night. TB hopefully on Wednesday. Who has a better NBA career between TB and Malik? Is the easy answer just Malik? Because Darius is he's kind of in his own category. He's going to have a better career than both those guys.
I don't know that I'm qualified to judge. I just know the athleticism of Brazil and the versatility of Brazil is hard to say. He might not, fit your answer there.
Yeah, you think about what TB was able to do as a stretch four at times. Not as consistent as I know he or others would want him to be, but the shot blocking ability, can guard multiple positions, improved at times under John Calipari. Malik's athleticism is kind of like you're speaking positives about TB's athleticism. The knock on Malik is that he's under 6'4" as a shooting guard. He's not the most athletic guy. Really high basketball IQ. Really good off the ball. But it's going to be interesting because you always like when you go through these different combines and various, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, it's like, okay, do we like the kid that's really, really high basketball IQ or football IQ, or do we like the kid that has insane potential because what he can do in various exercises?
Brazil can play the 3 or the 4. Can Malik play? I mean, obviously the 2 is. He got the handles for a 1 at the next level.
No.
I don't know that he's got the size for a 3. So he's boxed in really to be a shooting guard, or he's not going to make a roster.
And
I think Brazil, you got more leeway to fit him into an NBA roster.
TB didn't have he had some defensive issues in terms of his lateral quickness, but he also at times could just be such a hindrance near the rim. And hopefully, wish those guys, including Darius, the best success here these next few days. Arkansas got a couple more commits in football-wise. An offensive lineman, I think there's 6 commitment from the offensive line in this 2027 class, and then a 3-star safety. The offensive lineman, Judah Gums, out of Florida, and safety out of Georgia. It's going into a couple schools, couple states, not touching Arkansas, and Ryan Silverfield got some good news these last few days.
All right, that's your Hog Updates brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They've been going at it for more than 4 years, offering real advice at a reasonable price. They've expanded their practice, but they really focus on 3 primary areas: custody, criminal, and car wrecks. So if you've been involved in a car wreck, turn to Jackie. She used to be a defense attorney for big insurance companies. She knows how to get a fair settlement out of them. If you've been arrested and you find yourself headed to court for a criminal charge, make sure she's there with you to hold the prosecutor's feet to the fire. And if you're going through a high-conflict divorce or a custody case, don't walk alone. Let Jackie go with you. 479-769-1505 or go to mocklegalsolutions.com. Cal's had a lot of videos out lately talking about players, promoting his program. When he's talking about these players in the draft, who do you think he's talking to? I mean, and I asked that with Olsen, is he talking to GMs and league personnel he hasn't talked to in the scouting departments? Is he
other players that are future players?
Maybe, like I said, parents of 16, 17, hey, this guy's going to be there all the way through. I mean, who is he doing these videos for?
I think it's what Christian just said. And I initially, when we talked about this before the show, my mind was, okay, NBA GMs, execs, and the current players, Darius, Malik, and TB, and you were like, no, it's what Christian just said. It's those future families. It's those future players. It's the fact that, as you stated earlier, he's going to be front and center at Darius's table tomorrow night. Hopefully Malik's right after.
Even though his programs haven't had the success in national championships and Final Fours that others have, his stamp of approval is equivalent to Nick Saban's stamp of approval in college football. So I think when he does a video that's an endorsement essentially of that player, it just carries a little more weight when someone's, it's a thumb on the scale if they're trying to make a decision on a slot in the draft order. That's part of it. And I think you're just showing everybody from the player to their parents to their agent, hey, I'm not just about getting you to my school and helping me, and then when you're done with me, I'm done with you. He'll be at the draft. He'll be sitting next to Acuff. He'll be there all the way through. And as we saw in the NBA Finals this year, and other playoff rounds, he's there supporting those players, once they're well gone from his school. Even when he changes schools, he still shows up. So I think it's about, he's going to go 360 with you, and he's just going to keep making laps.
Yeah,
and that's just part of what he does.
You mentioned just staying with you, the finals, and like you were talking about, you see Karl-Anthony Towns. Aaron Fox had a terrible series. He's obviously probably getting consoled by Cal and other teammates and other players that weren't just a part of the NBA Finals, but various playoff games leading up to that. He was at multiple events, and I know that parents and future players like to see that. Hopefully Beckham Black's been watching, who's AB's little brother and the number 1 point guard in this upcoming class.
All right, if you had a busy weekend, time was on the go, you went to Branson, Big C, hey, take the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell along with you wherever you go. You can listen whether you're on vacation, headed to the Redneck Riviera, or getting on a flight going somewhere. You can always keep up with your favorite shows that are live and local right here, right on your phone, no matter where you're at. Our podcast and on-demand stuff is right there as well, and it's all brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. It's the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell.
When we come back, we got our Morning Rush Daily question, and then notable news for Christian's favorite NBA team, the Dallas Mavericks, what route they're going for their next coach. Might surprise you. That's next on the Morning Rush.
Watch the Morning Rush on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Just search Hit That Line.
Billy Richmond gets the rebound, beats Ewing. The league slams it home with two hands.
The Morning Rush.
On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother. They're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef. It's What's for Dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef. It's What's for Dinner.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www.
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Arkansas shot the wild last week. Mississippi. You have to say that? I don't know. All right, I just did.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Or online at harryrobinson.com.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Attention golfers and local businesses. Join us for the 54th Annual Ben Guerin Floorball Tournament on July 17th through the 19th. The action kicks off Friday, July 17th with a practice round. Then teams compete in the Floorball Championship July 18th and 19th. Entry is just $200 per player or $180 for MGA members. We're also seeking tournament sponsors. Promote your business with a whole sponsorship for $100, the driving range for $250, or a putting green sponsorship for $350. For player registration or sponsorship opportunities, call 479-646-5301 today. Come be a part of one of the area's premier golf traditions at Ben Guerin.
Let freedom ring during the 4th of July sale at Jelco Outdoors, now through July the 3rd. Show your red, white, and blue with Burlebo Patriotic Clothing, now 25% off. Yeti coolers and drinkware will keep everything cool, now 25% off. Just arrived. Arkansas Razorback and Oklahoma Sooner logoed coolers. Plus the 250th anniversary Winchester commemorative ammo boxes are available now. Happy 4th of July from Jelco Outdoors. We'll be closed July the 4th. Celebrate America's birthday at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Introducing Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa with bright citrus, real red jalapenos, guajillo chiles. Usually, you add sauce to the food, but when the sauce is this good, the food is just there to get the sauce to your mouth. That rolled quesadilla, not a rolled quesadilla anymore. Now it's a sauce shovel. Taco Bell's jalapeno citrus salsa. Get it with any item on the Cantina chicken menu while it's here. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. While supplies last, contact store for availability.
Drive smarter with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle available only at Rath Auto Resources. We look all over the region for the best used cars. From there, they're inspected, reconditioned to our certified standards, and backed with a comprehensive warranty. And while the other guys might spring hundreds or even $1,000 in added fees on you at the last minute, our painless pricing and non-commissioned sales team ensure that you get a straight deal every time. Make the switch to a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
You know your business. I know the fans. Together, we're a championship roster. In Arkansas, loyalty is everything, and nobody connects with the Razorback faithful like our team here at ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. When you partner with us at ESPN Arkansas, you're not just buying airtime. You're gaining trusted voices that talk to your customers every single day. I'm Ty Richardson. Let's grow your business together, both on air and through digital avenues. Become a partner at ESPN Arkansas. Email ty.richardson@HitThatLine.com to start your campaign today.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question. We're talking about NBA draft, John Calipari. I mean, pretty straightforward. Where does Darius Acuff land in the NBA draft? It's coming up, days away. What are you thinking here? According to ESPN, he's the 7th best available player in the draft. If you went strictly by that, that would be the Sacramento Kings. But we know that's not how things are necessarily going to work out.
Who have been linked to him, multiple reports, and they really like him according to that. The Clippers are at 5, the Nets are at 6, Kings at 7, Hawks are at 8. The thought process, as we brought up earlier, is tomorrow between Debanza, Peterson, Wilson, and Boozer. Those are your top 4 in no certain order. So Darius would be, at least from the outside looking in, the next up would be 5th in the draft. Now, we know things change. It doesn't always happen according to plan, but that would land him with the Clippers. Kings just that's the issue with that. Clippers are a crummy organization. I know that New Jersey had kind of that stint in the early 2000s with Richard Jefferson and those guys, Vince Carter, but they're not really that good. Kings, same way. Hawks
need a one.
Who needs a guard? There you go. Who needs a one? Who needs a guard out of this? Because when you look at Peterson, he's a guard. The only other guy, because Debanza, Boozer, and Caleb Wilson, those guys aren't they're wing guys, they're inside guys, so they're not Who of those teams is looking for a 1 or a 2?
The Hawks just traded Trae Young, didn't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So but I don't know if he's going to drop to 8. Jesse thinks that Dallas is going to trade up and get Acuff. I know Kyrie and getting him back is maybe you trade him or something else. I would be shocked if Darius Acuff got outside the top 7. And really, I think he's going to be 5 or 6. That's where I think you got Wagler, the kid from Illinois. You got Mikel Brown, the kid from Louisville, and those are really kind of the 3 guards that are people are thinking about drafting at the next level. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Number 1 place for indoor golf in all of Arkansas is at Cart Pass Social. Going to hang out there this weekend. Great place you can watch, whether it's the College World Series Game 3 tonight, the final game between the Tar Heels and the Sooners, MLB baseball, college football when it's around here in 76 days for now from the Hogs. Closer than that because we got other college football games. Plus, they've got their summer membership plan now through the end of September, starting at just $200 a month. So whether it's raining in Northwest Arkansas or it's sun is just beating down, it's 90-plus degrees, and you can't stomach the weather. You can play inside in the AC at Cart Pass Social. Plus, you don't have to play the same course. Over 1,000 different courses you can play. There's TVs everywhere. It's a great place to hang out. BYOB every single time at Cart Pass Social. All right, so staying within the NBA, notable news. University of Michigan head coach Dusty May has agreed to become the new head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, according to ESPN. Big C, that's your favorite team. What do you think about this hire?
Shot in the arm. Exactly what that franchise needed. Did they win the national championship last year?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So you're getting a guy that knows how to win. I know it's at a different level, but he can coach, and you've got Cooper Flagg right there, generational type player. Definitely some work to be done. This draft is big for the Mavericks. I feel like.
And we just got through reading Jesse and Springdale's text about Darius Acup. I wonder if there's a thought from Dusty May. I know the Mavericks are drafting 9th. Curious to see if he goes after any of his former players at the next level, depending on where they fall and slot up to the Mavs.
Yeah, and how much, a new coach coming in after all the draft work is done, head coach doesn't have final say. So this isn't college where the head coach is king. He'll come in and might be left to whatever the GM and the ownership say.
Why is this move notable for us and other college basketball programs?
Well, because this is going to set off a mini domino effect right now in college basketball circles. Now, I don't know what's going to be behind with Michigan staff. This report's less than a half hour old, and it says he's finalizing a deal. This is a Pete Thamel report on ESPN, so it's not final, but there is going to be that. And then I think the bigger news you're after is when your coach leaves, it opens up a 30-day portal window for the players on that roster. So now I'm sure as this is unfolding, and I'm sure coaches connected to the situation like John Calipari is, they've known this for a day or two or three. They've probably been scouring that roster looking for somebody. So you said earlier we have 2 roster spots left on the Arkansas basketball roster for this year. Maybe you fit the bill with somebody from Michigan, but they get a special portal window that no one else will get.
I don't know if this Malik Cordell kid can play, but he's a 7'2" freshman from Germany.
How much does he weigh?
275 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big old. Lindenberg's moving on. I think Mara's moving on. I think Morris Johnson also moving on. But being that they just won the national championship, that is where my mind initially went, is could Cal or what other coaches, like you said, have been scouring, have been looking at the roster. And I think Michigan had a pretty successful portal offseason as well. That's the roster from this past season. So what additions of guys that came expecting to play for Dusty May?
If you have room on your roster, which Arkansas does, not everybody's still going to have a spot or 2 left.
So that is something to keep an eye on. Hopefully for Arkansas basketball, if there's anyone there that Cal would like to have on campus here in Fayetteville.
And, I'm sure, what does Michigan do for a coach at this point? This is an odd. I say it's late in the process to be doing this.
And I know where Arkansas stands currently with their roster. I don't know where Michigan's is because I haven't been necessarily paying attention to Michigan basketball in the offseason. But the guys that have officially declared and move on, I think it's those 3 I just mentioned. I think Cadeau might be out of eligibility there. Good, solid point guard. So what does that look like for, as you said, the new coach coming in? Michigan is a high-profile job, obviously coming off a national championship. You had the Fab Five. They've had good teams over the years. I think Glenn Robinson III and others. Think about Steve Fisher, what he was able to assemble at times. There's a lot of money.
But how much money do you have left, or how much more can you go raise if you're in a situation similar to Arkansas? How much of your budget is spent? Could you go out and raise whatever you needed to get a player from a place like Michigan that would make a difference? How many players are left there that could make a difference on this roster? We heard from Cal earlier. He watched his team practice. He really likes them. Did he see a deficiency? Boy, if we just had this, or boy, I see this over here with Michigan's roster, that could really help here.
Is Lindenberg
Can you get
in
the money
draft?
to do it?
Yeah, he's going to be I don't know if he'll be a top 10 or maybe just outside of the top 10, but he's not. He's either out of eligibility or he had a good enough season to come back, or he's not coming back to college, I should say. But that is I feel like there's always speculation about big-time college basketball coaches that would move on. I kind of, May just kept pushing back on, man, I've got a really good situation here. Think about his timeline, though. You're the FAU coach. I don't know where he was before he was in Boca. You just beat Michigan in an NCAA tournament game. You get all the way to a Final Four, and then you transition on to Michigan, and then you win a national championship, and now you're in Dallas coaching the Mavericks, Cooper Flagg and that team. Coaching timelines, it's a weird, funny thing, and I would guess if you asked him when he was sitting in Boca Raton coaching the FAU Owls with John L. Davis, I'm going to guess that he did not feel he was going to be the Dallas Mavericks coach.
Well, no. I mean, if someone probably went to him and said, you're going to be an NBA head coach in 3 years? I got my timeline right on that?
That sounds right.
You
He's
know,
only in Michigan. He's only in Ann Arbor for like a year or two.
Yeah. So you'd have said, hey, in 36 months, you're going to be the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. He probably thought you was crazy.
Just nuts. Just nuts. The best picture of him is we were talking earlier, Wyndham Clark. People were like, he would have had a good shot this weekend. People booed. Did you hear that? Like, he hits a good shot and Shinnecock, and you had fans that are obviously cheering for Scotty or others that wanted him to fall apart and fail. The best picture that Dusty May has is he's sitting in East Lansing right before the game in front of the Michigan State student section and just taking it all in as they're cussing at him and jeering at him and stuff. They won like 20-something against Izzo that game.
Larry in Clarksville claims it's 27 months. FAU to the NBA, 27 months.
Man, wow. Larry, that's a quick timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So 2.5 years.
Thank you, Larry.
He's going to win an NBA title, too, here in a few
That'd be nice
years.
for you. I know you take that. Be curious to see if I know Arkansas now, guys, was Juwan Howard the head coach when you played that game in MSG 2 years ago? Or was Dusty the head coach? I can't remember.
Dusty.
Okay.
Dusty.
So he hasn't. I mean, that was 2 years ago. So you didn't have Darius Acuff on the team, obviously. He's probably followed him at college basketball, just like other notable college basketball coaches. But curious to see who they end up drafting tomorrow night. If he has enough say-so between now and then to decide who they're going to take with that pick.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That, just because you're the head coach in the NBA doesn't mean you get to make any draft choices. I'm sure he'll have input, but no choices. All right, national championship on the line tonight. Bet Saracen has the run line out as North Carolina -1.5, so the Sooners getting a run and a half there. Money line is -150 North Carolina, +120 for the OU Sooners on the Bet Saracen app. National title tonight. I'm rooting for North Carolina. Was surprised we even have a game tonight after the way Game 1 went. What are you guys thinking tonight for Game 3 and the final game of the Men's College World Series?
My heart is rooting for North Carolina, but my mind's telling me that the Sooners and Skip Johnson are gonna take this one tonight.
Either way, they've taught us another lesson about just getting hot at the right time. Don't have to always be the best team for the season, but I hope North Carolina gets it done.
Yeah.
Just because, like Arkansas fans, they've suffered through so many disheartening and heartbreaking moments in Omaha. Maybe this is their year.
That kid that pitched for him yesterday, they're like 29-0 when he's on the mound. That's insane. When he has stepped foot on the mound for the Tar Heels, they are 29-0, which is just
love that.
just nuts.
That's what you do when the season's on the line. You got to have a guy like that when it's win or go home for the year. So that's where it's at. All right, you can call or text us. George Wilson is going to join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, one of the great Razorbacks of our generation and our lifetime. 877-377-6963. If you got something you'd like us to ask George, you can text that in now on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline.
All right, hour 2 coming up. United States ended up getting it done again. Australia, they'll play it Thursday night at 9 o'clock. So they're 2-0 through the group stage thus far. Hopefully they win again and get ready for the knockout stage as well. Hour 2 of the Morning Rush on the way here on this Hot Take Monday.
On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother. They're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef. It's What's for Dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef. It's What's for Dinner.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www Google
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Drive smarter with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, available only at Rath Auto Resources. We look all over the region for the best used cars. From there, they're inspected, reconditioned to our certified standards, and backed with a comprehensive warranty. And while the other guys might spring hundreds or even $1,000 in added fees on you at the last minute, our painless pricing and non-commissioned sales team ensure that you get a straight deal every time. Make the switch to a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This 4th of July, celebrate our nation's 250th birthday at Greenwood's 2026 Freedom Fest. Sponsored by the Greenwood A&T Commission. Join us Saturday, July 4th from 4 to 10 p.m. for kids' activities, food trucks, craft and artisan vendors, and live music all night. Enjoy performances by Barrett Faber, Oreo Blue, and the Brandon Butler Band, plus a special fireworks show honoring Kelly Hendricks. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your friends, and join us on the town square. Freedom Fest, Saturday, July 4th. We'll see you there.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Passionate about sports? If yes, let's take that passion and put it to work growing your business. I'm Rita Newton with ESPN Arkansas, and I help people like you that own businesses connect them with our avid and loyal sports listeners through the power of radio with sharing your words, plus offering digital solutions. Whether you need more customers or more traffic on your website, I am your girl. So email me at rita.newton@hitthatline.com or call me at 479-353-1242. One email or one call away to working on a business plan to help you grow your business.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see occasional rain, a few isolated thunderstorms, which could continue to touch off potential for flooding. Our high temperatures today, low to mid-80s. Chance of showers, a few isolated thunderstorms in the mix tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the mid-60s north, low 70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 75 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. You could drink beer. The superior light beer for the social athlete.
I never saw Jack Nicklaus throw a club. I never heard him yell an F-bomb. Never heard him yell a profane word on the golf course.
Crowds can be tough, and being in the arena is not for everybody. And I think it shows a lot about Wyndham, how he handled not only this golf course, but I think the crowd today as well, and as a well-deserving champion.
But I get it. They root for Scotty. Grand Slam's only happened a few times, so he's gonna get it. I mean, he's the best player in the world. But today it's my day.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Christian Johnston with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Yes, we get going in hour number 2. We're going to chat some football with George Wilson coming up in a bit. You heard in the initial part of that open Chambly's comments about the club throwing and the cursing. Is that a boomer old man take, or should that be respected more?
Oh, I think, I don't think that's acting like a professional. But
Okay.
I'll be honest, me and you have probably both had moments where we
Yes.
weren't very proud of our actions.
Including this
and
weekend.
we're not good enough to actually get mad.
Exactly.
But we do it anyway. Those guys are actually good enough to be mad. But that, you're privileged to play at that level. You had God-given talent. Yeah, you probably shouldn't act like a jackwagon.
And he noted something. We
Even
didn't
though
play-
we will probably do it again this weekend.
Yeah,
You know,
it was-
act like a jackwagon on the golf course.
It was about a 2-minute clip. He did note that the cameras are much more plentiful. They're all over the place now. You got people that are being followed, not necessarily like when Jack Nicklaus was playing, late Arnold Palmer and others, but the level of decorum has
just
seemed
different day and time. I mean, just society as a whole. People didn't yell from the now. People really rooted for Arnold Palmer, made it very uncomfortable for Jack Nicklaus early on.
Really,
Jack was not a crowd favorite early in his career. Arnie won his people over, his army, Arnie's army. He had to win them over for Jack with the way he embraced him and the way he said, "Hey, this guy's okay," because they didn't like this young punk from Ohio coming in there and beating Arnold Palmer. So crowds could be rough, but golf's trying to dial this back because the Ryder Cup this last time at Bethpage Black, it got out of control, and by golf standards. Now, I mean, just a normal day in the NFL or college football, but they were ejecting fans at the U.S. Open this weekend. They want some decorum because the game is based on acting like a gentleman on the course. So I understand kind of why people say things like what you just played. All right, George Wilson coming up, one of the Razorback greats. We're going to talk to him in just a few minutes. We're brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number. I know some of you are cleaning up from a little bit of storm damage this morning, depending on where you're at. I was looking at some pictures during the break down in Ozark, Arkansas. May have had a small tornado come through there, a lot of leaves and tree limbs and things down. If you've had some fence damage, hey, get with the Fence Man. They can help fix that for you. If you had some sections blown down, or maybe a tree has fallen on something, or maybe you just need help with your fence no matter where you're at, 782-3936 is the number. Ask for Brandon. Get a special discount because you listen to the Morning Rush. 782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Coming out of high school, I had some opportunities to go to some small colleges to play football, but, I wanted to follow my brother's footsteps and play in the Southeastern Conference. So the only school that gave me that opportunity was Arkansas.
Wide open. George Wilson. Romo to throw from his end zone. Intercepted down the middle. George Wilson. Touchdown, Buffalo.
George Wilson, touchdown. Jones again, play action, looking, firing down the middle. Touchdown, Arkansas! George Wilson. Oh, my, what a great play.
All right, we bring in former Razorback wide receiver and Buffalo Bills captain George Wilson into the Morning Rush via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. George, we have a good Father's Day weekend, man. Good to hear from you.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Had a great Father's Day weekend. Got to spend some time with my son, my brother, my sister, and their kids. And, it's always a great holiday when you're able to spend it with family.
Let's go. Well, you also got to spend time with the football team last week. I wonder your thoughts on getting a chance to meet some of the guys, coach, and gearing up for this upcoming season.
Yes, absolutely. I had a great time back on campus, back in the facility and around the program last week. I ended up taking about 15 guys from players from my local high school at Paducah-Tillman High School, where I graduated from. We went down for the prospect camp and was able to even stay a few more days and get a game or two over at the 707 camp on last Wednesday as well. And before I even made it to town, not long after Coach Silverfield was hired, he'd reached out to me, got my contact from someone in the program, and introduced himself. We had a conversation, and he opened the doors for me, told me anytime I'd be in the area to let him know, and invited me in to be around the team. Was able to go through the facility, sit in on some position meetings, some special teams meeting, a team meeting. Actually gave me an opportunity to address the team. And I just love being around the guys, being back and around the program. And I'm just so grateful for Coach Silverfield and his staff open their arms and rolling out the red carpet for me and some of my athletes to be able to get an inside view of the program as they try to build it in their image.
George, when's the last time you've been back? I mean, it's been, 23 years, I think it is, since you played. But when's the last time you've been on campus? Because I know it looks a world different than when you played in the early 2000s.
Yes, it looks completely different. I was telling stories to some of the athletes that I was with and the group that I was with last week, just saying, how the Fred Smith Center now sits on our old practice field when we used to, be down there, getting our work in, seeing all the fender benders from people driving by trying to watch practice while they drive up Razorback Road.
Yeah.
But it's been a few years. I've been back since, the Fred Smith Center and a lot of the facility improvements in all across the athletic department there. But it's been about 3 years since I've actually been in the facility. And before then, it's probably been, probably since I was playing. It's great to see the investments that's been made in the program to ensure not just the football players, but all student athletes on campus have the resources and the facilities they need to be successful on their respective playing fields or courts, as well as off the field and courts as well.
Well, catch us up a little bit. You mentioned players from the high school you went to. Are you coaching, or what are you doing now that you're not playing? What's a day in the life look like for you?
I'm not an official coach. I'm just what I would call or refer to as a glorified cheerleader or avid supporter. I love kids. I love being able to help nurture their dreams and be able to put them in position to be successful in life. And a big part of that is being able to give them firsthand experiences to see what those opportunities entail and what they look like and sound like and feel like before they're actually in those positions. And being able to bring a group of high schoolers that, many of them have never really been on a major Power 5 university campus. So to be able to not only expose them to that, but give them an inside view to be able to see what a position meeting looks like, to see what a Power 5 football facility and weight room looks like, what a workout looks like, really being able to give them a visible example in action could really help to set the tone for the work that they will be required to put in order to see their dreams come true. And so, for me, like I said, I'm not officially on the coaching staff, but I'm around the program. I get to work with it. I know a lot of the kids from doing my own football camps throughout the years. and just being a avid community supporter of all good things here in Paducah, Kentucky. And so I'm not on the staff, but I'm around enough to where I have familiarity with the kids, with the coaching staff, and with the school administration.
Arkansas great wide receiver George Wilson with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hey, you're there in Kentucky. One of the great games during your career at Arkansas was that 7 overtime victory. I'm sure that that comes up from time to time in your everyday walk of life, and the fact that you've always got that one up and what's one of the more memorable games, not only in your career but in college football history.
Man, I hear that all the time whenever, I come across a fan who followed my career. Some people, say that they were there at the game or they watched it on television. It came up last week while I was there on campus. And, randomly when I'm around the state of Kentucky, people remember that game as well. 7 overtime, statistical career game for me. I remember I had 77 tickets. I had a lot of cousins. Had a lot of cousins on those ticket request forms that really wanted to come up from Paducah, from my hometown, to be able to see me play and to be able to win the game first and foremost, and to be able to have a career game against a school that my brother played at, against a school that was recruiting me early on but pulled out late in the game. And so to be able to get a little get back at the end was definitely something that I will remember and cherish for the rest of my life. We play the state championship games here in Kentucky there at Kroger Field on UK's campus as well. And so when my high school played there a couple of years ago, I just kind of got chills being back on the field where that game took place at. And so, the memories and the emotions of the game are still alive and well now.
Here at the radio station, the show that comes on after ours, Matt Jones is one of the hosts of the shows. I just saw him walking through the hallway, all six of him. Tell us about playing with Matt, and I just remember his cool demeanor on that night there in Kentucky, as was per usual for him. What are your fondest memories of playing with Matt Jones?
Oh, he had a great mentality. He's never too high, never too low. And that's the beauty of playing with Matt. And you want that in a quarterback where, if he's having a tough day, that he's not wearing his emotions on his sleeve, or you can't really tell that he's having a career game. He's a gamer. He goes out there, he makes the plays necessary to come away with the win, whether that's with his legs or with his arm. With Matt, he's a game breaker, and you always had to be ready, whether he was, your receiver out in your route, him being able to scramble and find you as you try to get open in the scramble drill, or if he pulls the ball down and takes off running, he's more than capable of taking it all the way. So you want to get in position to get a block for him to give him the best chance to be able to get to the end zone. I mean, just a guy with just great athletic ability, natural ability, and Matt was a difference maker for us, and that's why the coaching staff there at Arkansas, made a way for him to be able to get on the field and be successful. When you think about the thing, you think about where football is today, and you think about when Matt first came on campus, we were running RPO, which is a staple in a lot of offenses in high school, college, and the pros. And we were on the frontier of that, not really realizing, the future of football. We were already there, but, it really fit Matt's skill sets very well, being able to leverage his athleticism as well as his ability to throw the ball while on the move. And so, Matt made a lot of plays for the program, won a lot of ball games, and made himself an Arkansas legend forever.
Georgie, you're doing pre and post for the Bills. You see any similarities with him and Josh Allen at all?
It's funny you say that. I do see that. Josh is a little bit bigger as far as weight goes, but they play the game in a similar manner. Mm-hmm. They can make plays with their feet. They can extend plays to get their wide receivers time to get open down the field. He's a threat from anywhere on the field. He can run around you. He can run through you and break tackles. He can throw the ball over the top of you. It's definitely a lot of parallels between those two guys, to say the least. But with Matt, when he got to the league, I think he switched to wide receiver after running that. What did Matt run, like the 40 with the fewest steps in history at the combine or something like that? I mean, just out there running like a gazelle down the field, just like Josh does. Both playmakers at the quarterback position, and well within their own right.
George, I wonder your thoughts on both your teams got new head coaches. Joe Brady with the Bills, Ron Silverfield with the Hogs. From behind the scenes and what your experience is like, I'm more in the National Football League because I know Coach Nutt was there all 4 years. You were in Fayetteville. What is it like to go through a transition with a new head coach and a player, and how can Coach Silverfield and Coach Brady earn those guys' trust early on?
It's you just said it. That's the word that everybody's looking for in the equation, and that's trust. Who can I trust? Who can I depend on? Who can I count on? And that's coming from the coach's standpoint to the players, and also the players' standpoint to the coaches. You're trying to get to know a person on the field and off the field. You're trying to learn what makes them tick. You're trying to learn who needs to have a fire lit under them. Who's a guy that you can just tell them, hey, make the correction in a nice monotone voice, and who needs to be chewed out. You're trying to learn the pulse of your locker room. You're trying to find out who your leaders are. And, with Brady and Silverfield coming in, they're trying to build a new culture, new expectations, new parameters, new ways of doing things. And these things are all adjustments that everybody in the facility or in the building has to adjust to. And, it's definitely about building that trust. Hey, you can depend on me. You can believe me. I stand by what I say. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to follow through and give it and do just that. And players need that, because when a new coach comes in, they sometimes, especially in college football and a little bit in professional football through free agency, but most of the time, new coaches want to bring in guys that understand their system, understand how they want things to be done, and how they want the team to work and to work together. And so as a coach, you're coming in trying to show, hey, everybody has a fresh start. Everybody has an opportunity to prove themselves. Everybody's in the starting blocks from the very beginning, which is a little different when you have a returning coach. But, it's a fresh start for everybody. For guys that haven't been able to get on the field, hey, maybe this is an opportunity for you to make a name for yourself and be able to have a fresh start and not have to work around politics or contracts or NIL deals. You get a fresh start. At the end of the day, football is a production-based business. No matter what your contract is, no matter what your NIL deal is, if you produce, you play. If you produce, you get paid. If you don't, you get replaced. And that's just the business of football. No matter what level you're playing in, it's a production-based business. Guys want opportunities to play, and they want to play, be able to play in a system that showcases their skill sets and be able to put them in a position to do what they do best. And I think that's a two-way street that, Coach Brady in Buffalo and Coach Silverfield in Fayetteville are in the midst of doing right now. They're in the off season. They're going through practices. They're sitting in meetings. They're looking to see who's paying attention, who's taking notes, who's on time for meetings, who's on time for workouts, who's giving maximum effort during conditioning, who's doing the little things. Because if you can't handle the little things off the field, then how can a coach trust you to do the little things and the big things on the field? And that's where this process really begins, is identifying who are those trustworthy people in the locker room, on the field, in the meeting rooms, in the community, and be able to use those as the pieces to build the framework of the culture and the winning program that you want to implement under your leadership as the new head coach.
George, you mentioned earlier, no other SEC team wanted you. That's how you end up at Arkansas. You have a great 4-year career. Nobody in the NFL drafted you. You go in as an undrafted free agent. You end up with a hell of a career in the last 10 years in the NFL. How'd you do that? I mean, what did you have to tell yourself to get to that level when no one else could see it?
if I don't believe in myself, then there's no reason anyone else should believe in me. So I never questioned my ability or the capacity to be able to play at the highest level. You know, I took my work ethic that I developed in the tobacco fields on my grandfather's farm, and I took that to school with me every day. I took that to practice with me every day. I knew that if I could crawl through a tobacco field, pulling off all the suckers on the stalks of a tobacco plant in the heat of the summer, or I can climb into the top of a barn Saturday morning after a football game where I'm sore, I'm tired, but I still show up to help my grandfather. If I can do those things for, minimal pay, for a labor's rate, then it was easy for me to go out there and run in the heat of summer, running sprints on the football field, working out on 6 a.m. workouts in the spring, or going to the gym by myself when I was in the pros, or going out to practice early or staying late in college and in the NFL. I just took that same work ethic, that same mentality that I'm not going to be denied. All I need is an opportunity. If you give me that, I'm going to show my worth. I'm going to show my ability and my capacity to be able to do more and take on more opportunity and more responsibility. And it was really just a mindset that I adopted day in and day out. It's a mindset that I still have today. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to attack the day. You're going to either get better or you're going to get worse. You try to just find a way to take a step each and every day towards your ultimate goal, whatever that may be. And that's, it's kind of cliche, but that's really what it was. I'm not going to make it hard. I just got to get up and I got to do the work. And I'm not going to allow anyone else to outwork me. If I miss the opportunity, if I mess up, if I make a mistake, it won't be because there's a lack of effort, a lack of focus, or a lack of preparation. I'm going to make sure that I'm there. I'm going to make sure that I'm on time, that I'm prepared, that I'm ready to take advantage of any opportunity that comes my way. And if I'm a guy that, for me, I had to work my way up from every team I've been on, from a redshirt freshman walk-on to eventually being a starter and a team captain, to being an undrafted rookie free agent, working my way up to being a special teamer, being a starter, being a team captain, being a union rep, a guy that my teammates respected and trusted on the field, off the field, to be able to represent them in the locker room, in the community, at the negotiation tables with the Players Association during the collective bargaining negotiations during our lockout. You build that trust through the work ethic and through guys witnessing how I respond to the adversity each and every day. It's really just through the work. You earn those opportunities and you earn the trust of your teammates by being consistent day in and day out.
What was the worst job you had to do on the farm?
Oh, man. The worst job?
The one you hated the most.
It really wasn't how about this? I didn't like any of it when I was going through, when I was actually doing it. I had to become a man and be able to look back and reflect back and see the difference that made in myself and all of my peers. So it was not really a whole lot of it that I really enjoyed doing. One of the little things, the planting and the tobacco and all that was fine, but sometimes my granddad would have us clean out his dog pen. He was an avid hunter. He loved hunting, rabbits and everything. So he had a cage full of beagles, and sometimes we'd have to go in and clean it, and it hadn't been cleaned in weeks, and so it's just dog poop everywhere. So just the smell and the dogs jumping and getting rowdy all on you, it was never something that was fun or something I looked forward to.
George, your story's great. We always root for the underdog. That's kind of within us all, and you certainly were the underdog in a lot of ways and overcame it all for a great career at Arkansas and also in the NFL, and we appreciate your time this morning.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I was excited to be back on campus last week, and I'm excited again to be back on the show with you guys today. So thank you again for having me. Let me know if you need me back in the future, and other than that, go hog.
All right. Thank you, George. The great George Wilson, wide receiver at the University of Arkansas, with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What a great story. I mean, nobody in the SEC wanted him. Nobody in the NFL drafted him. Ends up a 10-year pro. I mean, that's a pretty great story with George Wilson, who 20-something years ago was one of the best at wide receiver at the University of Arkansas. Brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. Jackie has really done a great job over the last 4+ years establishing her practice on her name, giving real advice at a reasonable price, really focusing on custody, criminal, and car wrecks now. So if you're going through a high-conflict divorce or a custody case, let her go alongside with you on that. If you find yourself on the wrong side of the law, let her hold the prosecutor's feet to the fire. And if you've been in a car wreck, she used to work for the big insurance companies. Now she works for you, and she knows how to get them to play the right settlement for your car and your injuries. Call Jackie and her team, 479-769-1505, 769-1505, and let her do the legwork and get you back on the right track. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
All right, when we come back, SEC update. Oklahoma, North Carolina playing for it all tonight in Omaha, the national championship of Game 3. The Morning Rush continues after this.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
Veterans and active duty service members. When you're called
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner. Taco Bell's Lutz boxes are curated to perfection. The refined $5 box, opulent $7 box, and the abundance of the $9 box, featuring the Fajita Street chalupas with boldly seasoned peppers and onions. Each delivers a satisfying symphony of flavors, but all that Lutz might go to your head.
Monsieur, check please.
You already paid. That's literally your receipt.
I wanna hear
Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom. Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Harris bounces one. This could be it. Gallagher steps forward. And with that, North Carolina has forced a winner-take-all Game 3.
Sooners and Tar Heels tonight. Omaha, Nebraska. Charles Schwab Field, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Guys, what happens tonight?
Well, I mean, history says the team that wins Game 1 wins the national championship. I think it's OU tonight. I'll be rooting for North Carolina, but I think it's OU.
Except when it comes to us. Big Steve?
I just feel like North Carolina's the better team, and the better team should win, right? Or is it the hotter team? Well, Oklahoma is really hot right now, and I'm almost dumbfounded that they're one win away from a College World Series.
Finished 11th in the Southeastern Conference. 11th. Ole Miss in 22 was the last team in the NCAA tournament. There have been other instances, but this is just, if this pulls
true
out,
dark horse,
there's no Big Ten team that obviously eliminated. There's no Big Ten team that's going to take the baseball national championship as well. Kind of thought that might be the team, football, basketball, and baseball, but it is peculiar to see Oklahoma wind up in this position after where they were slotted in the SEC and where they were in Atlanta, Georgia, taking on Georgia Tech just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so 6 o'clock, a little earlier than maybe you're used to a game of this nature starting about an hour earlier than I would expect, but 6 o'clock tonight from Omaha as Sooners have now won 42 games. You say, well, that's a lot. Well, that's a good regular season total. Yeah. But that just kind of, to your point, Sooners are 42-23 on the year, and they're playing for a national title tonight. Wow. Pretty interesting how they did get hot here at the final stage of the season, which is what anybody wants to do.
While technically not an SEC story, I know that SEC coaches are going to be trying to raid the Michigan basketball roster. If you missed it, Dusty May is going to take the Dallas Mavericks job and moving on from Ann Arbor after just 2 seasons. So whether it's John Calipari, whether it's Nate Oates, whether it's pick a Scott Golden, pick a SEC coach, I would guess, unless their rosters are completely filled, that you got this 15-day window. Maybe a guy wants to leave Ann Arbor and come to my school. But that is notable.
It's how many? Is it 30 days or
15?
It's 15. It's 30 in football.
Yes,
then.
That's what I was going to say. Unless Jeff Borzello of ESPN.com is wrong.
Well, I know there is. I thought it was 30, but maybe I'm just thinking that's the football, and I thought it was both. But point is, if a player wants to leave and come to a place like Arkansas or any other school, if they have room, he can do it without penalty. So it would be interesting to see if Michigan's roster gets raided, because I can't imagine they've got just a plug-and-play solution for head coach. Now, maybe someone on their staff gets elevated, but is that enough to keep their roster together? I don't know the answers to that. That's what's going to be interesting over the next 15 days.
I think it's the former Oklahoma State coach. I think Kenny Boyden's an assistant on that team, so maybe there's some elevation there. This is just a weird time. I mean, it's June 22nd. And maybe, again, I haven't paid a lot of attention to Michigan basketball in the offseason. Maybe their roster's solidified and you can just kind of go from there. Maybe there was a succession plan in place, or, as you stated earlier, maybe a couple well-renowned coaches in the industry knew this was going to happen. They've already been scouring and looking at the roster to see if there's any players that would be suitable for theirs. But I'm curious, as we always see, and when a big-time college basketball, football, or baseball job comes open, the domino effect, not just with coaches now, but with players.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. All right, that's the SEC update. It's brought to you by our friends Nick and Ellie Glidewell. They're real estate agents. I was talking with Nick over the weekend, and one area they have really kind of zeroed in on is these luxury homes, homes with more square footage that have a few more amenities, both as homes they offer for listings, but also what's happened is people move into the area, or people are looking to, as their families grow, expand what their needs are, more bedrooms with families, and they have become really good at negotiating these deals and making sure they get you set up in the right deal. So if you're looking to buy a home, you need the right pro on your side, someone that can negotiate a deal and get you at the closing table in the right situation, whether it's help with closing and maybe how you buy down points with the financing. Maybe it's the way you frame or negotiate the discount within the contract. And don't forget, now with some of the legal changes to how the commissions are structured with the agents, you don't have to go necessarily with the agent that the buyer, or the seller rather, has. You can bring your own to the table as the buyer. So call Nick and Ellie. Let them go to work for you. They work together. You get both for the price of one, more or less, when you go with Nick and Ellie Glidewell. 479-739-2333, 739-2333, or see them at nickandellie.com. Nick and Ellie Glidewell, ready to serve you.
Do you guys watch the USA game on Friday?
I did
against
not.
Australia?
I kept up with the score. I played golf that afternoon, and it was a 2:00 game. I just wasn't in a position to watch the whole thing.
What about you, Big C? Did you watch it?
I kept up with the score. Interestingly enough, I didn't really have time to watch it, but I kept up with some of the other games in the World Cup, just not the USA.
Well, they got it done this past Friday.
Good service. It's another own goal. Now, reverse move. Test. Might still be. USA 2, Australia 0.
So you're moving on past this group stage, and you're moving on to the knockout stage. Hoping you got a good draw. So I feel like they do that a lot of times for the host nations, and I know you got Mexico and Canada all hosting along with the United States. But thus far, you got a 6-1 goal differential. You were asking about the tiebreakers. So you're good. Yeah. You're good.
I do know the heat has been a big issue with the opposing teams coming over here. They underestimated the heat here in America.
Yeah, I have just enjoyed on social media watching some of the videos, and was it Freddie and some of these different ones that have really gained some traction, and how they've enjoyed America, enjoyed their time here in the United States, and for all the narrative that the media will try to tell you that the rest of the world hates the United States. I think they have learned a lot about our culture and our people, and I've just really enjoyed how they've found so many things that they honestly have enjoyed in their time here in the United States. I can relate a little bit going to Scotland earlier this year, but looking at what they did in Boston and how they drank the bars dry, I think it is a far greater economic lift and just I don't want to say cultural awakening. I don't want to go too far with this, but I think it's probably changed in the minds of some around the world how people view us as a nation.
Yeah, and I try to be respectful, whatever state. I've only been out of the country one time in my life, but I don't think it sometimes helps that Americans aren't exactly the most respectful when they go across the pond in terms of how they treat people and stuff. So that also is played into it. But like you said, some of that has been absolved based on the treatment of the people that have come over here and experienced the various things that we get to enjoy each and every day that we don't think anything about. It's just kind of over our heads. This is just how we do things, and it's been great. I hope that the United States keeps winning. I wonder if how much the interest will wane and dissipate if once the U.S. loses, because they're not like Tim Howard, former U.S. goalkeeper. I think he still has a place in Hot Springs.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup.
And most people agree with that. Like, they're not going to win. But this has been fun. And hopefully, again, maybe they get an upset, maybe two. But all
right, so help us lay people here. We get through group play, then you go into the round of 32, correct? Out of group play? Yeah. And then from there, obviously, down to 16. It's single elimination at that point, right? From group of 30. You can't lose. If you lose, you go home, right?
Correct.
All right, just making sure, because I think probably more of the audience is like me than like you or Matt or anyone else that's really, immersed in this. So you come out of group play, and then it's basically a 32-team tournament at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do they bracket that, by the way?
I've got it up right here. So this is this is not the best. I know Germany's this flag. I don't recognize some. I'm going to be honest. I don't keep
we played them in a friendly, right, before the World Cup.
Lost
to them
2-1, I think is what it was. But we are
but that didn't count as part of the World Cup. It was just one in advance of the World Cup.
Yeah. So Group D, I can't read this bracket, but yes, we are think of it as a college baseball setup where you're paired alongside another group like you would be a regional. And then since we're hopefully, as long as we take care of business against Turkey this Thursday night at 9 o'clock, we are going to be paired against the lesser team that comes out of another group.
All right.
The second second seed, which would be in this case
so 2 teams from each group, and if you win your group, you play the 2 team from another group you're paired with.
And
got it.
That's why it's so important that they blast Turkey on Thursday night, because we need all the help that we can get. Like, just winning one game, getting to the round of 16 would be awesome. And they got close. I think they got to the quarters in 2002, and there was a handball on Germany that they didn't call. But I just want this. This has been fun, and I don't want the U.S. to lose, because I think the people paying attention is just going to quickly evaporate once the U.S. loses.
I would imagine the secondary ticket market would plummet.
Yes.
Even in venues that aren't U.S. team related.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you're right. The air will come out of the balloon when the Americans are out of the field.
And I think from some of these, like Arrowhead, I know that's an older venue, but I think they did a good job there.
Mm-hmm.
You think about Dallas, Los Angeles, which you mentioned, Seattle. Look, I was with a buddy that doesn't know anything about soccer, and we watched the game with a couple other soccer friends on Friday, and they were like, "Oh, that's Seattle Stadium," because they recognized obviously the setup of the 12th man.
Are they in Houston too? I don't think so. Maybe they're not. Where's Bruce Stanton at? He sent us a picture.
I think that's right.
Is that Houston? Because you were mentioning it. I'll say that looks exactly like Houston, but
I forget every host site.
There's 11 in the United States, 3 in Mexico, 2 in Canada. So I do know that's kind of the setup. Hey, while you look that up, what are we, 78 days? 76 days from football season? Get yourself game day ready with a brand new Razorback app. It's the mobile app you can put on your iPhone or your Android. Download your game tickets, follow all your favorite Razorback teams, and exclusive access to content all in one place. It's the Game Day app, available now. Download it for free in the Apple app or Google Play Store, the new Razorback app.
Now, the National Football League is in a little different category than other high schools across the United States. But one of the things the NFLPA has liked, Christian, I don't know if you saw this, they like the fact that there's natural grass everywhere because players don't like playing on turf. It's led to more injuries. I know it's easier to maintain and whatnot. Do you have a preference? Do you reffing anywhere? Do you care?
I would rather ref on turf. I don't get any mud on my shoes.
Okay, all right.
I don't get. It's cleaner. Your footing's always certain. It's a cleaner game, but you're right in the fact that the game's meant to be played on grass. I can't imagine, and listen, about everywhere in Arkansas that has soccer, I don't know anyone that plays high school soccer that doesn't have field turf.
Well, that was what
field turf is the reason we have high school soccer in Arkansas.
Because you said that high school football coaches used to get mad when the soccer
Well, I
teams
mean,
would tear up the field. And then,
They play at a time of the year where your grass hasn't really come in. It's still coming out of dormancy or still dormant.
I don't think baseball should be played on turf.
Okay.
Just because of
the way the ball
bounces off the turf. It's just
I get with that.
It's not natural.
You're not a fan of the Lexington or the venue in Lawrence, Hoagland Ballpark or Hoagland,
Yep.
yeah. Which is what Arkansas had played on turf prior to that, but I think a lot of people feel that way. They put up with it in football. Obviously, you're playing on hardwood in basketball, but baseball, you're like, why is this turf? Like, why? So I would agree with you on that standpoint. Big C.
But I really feel it because high school soccer did not exist when I came through, and really didn't exist in our state 15 or 20 years ago at any high level. I mean, how many teams were playing? What year did you graduate?
2013.
And I bet you there weren't as many. I mean, there's more teams playing today than there were then.
I think I want to say, I could be wrong on this. I only think we had like 6 teams in our division because I think there was typically 1 or 2 schools that didn't have soccer, like you're saying, as a sport.
Did y'all have turf then, or was it natural grass, or did you even get to play on your football field?
We got. Do you remember the? You remember we played Pulaski Academy and we had to fly a helicopter over our field when it had grass? I don't know if you ever saw that video.
To dry it out?
Yeah, to dry it out. Then we eventually got turf. We had grass until I think my sophomore or junior year, and then for senior year we got turf. Turf's not fun to play soccer in because you're sliding, man. Yeah. You got some bad turf burn. Same for football too.
Yeah.
Goalie diving and stuff.
Travis Kelce always used to complain when they'd go to Oakland, when they go to Oakland and remember the baseball and when they land and like if you land on that dirt, apparently it just rip off your skin. And that was all. I mean, it was all over the field. It was in the end zone. It was in center field. It was everywhere because you're playing in a baseball.
No one has that now. I mean, I don't think anyone uses their baseball facility, and the NFL and Major League Baseball don't cross any longer. But that was just the way it was.
Yeah.
In my childhood, I mean, everyone early in the football season had a dirt infield that they were crossing at some point. That's just the way it was.
Goosey Rowe Greg says, as a high school soccer coach, turf sucks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. And I know, again, it's easier to maintain. It's cheaper than having to deal with it, but
you wouldn't play in the football stadium on grass.
Yeah.
You just that's the way it was for so many years. Hey, speaking of grass, I was watching a YouTube video this weekend of a plane flying final approach into Gaston's White River Resort. It was really cool how they came over the resort, they circled over the White River and kind of went down the river, then moved back to their left. They were going downriver, then came back in on final approach, and that was a really cool video to watch. It was on Gaston's Facebook page. I would like to do that someday. That'd be really cool to go up there and stay for the day, but you can park your plane, stay for the weekend. So if you're if you're someone that has a plane, Gaston's has an airstrip right there on site. They got fuel and everything you need to maintain your plane while you're there as well. So that's one of the cool bonus features at Gaston's. I don't have a plane, but when I'm there, I like to watch them come and go. People come in, land, eat, fish for a little while, go back home. That's one of the really cool things at Gaston's for just people watching or plane watching as well. Call to make your summertime plans now, 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. I mean, today they all did some awesome stuff, and they all did stuff that pissed me off.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's a thought. Why not declutter your internet, too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
We have a simple formula at Shelter Insurance. Provide personalized coverage at great rates with local agents to help you choose the coverage you need. And if the unexpected happens, fulfill our promise to be there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom. Just in time for the 4th of July, Crabtree RV Center is paying your sales tax on all RVs under $45,000. That's right, sales tax paid on all RVs under $45,000 running through the month of June. Stop in today and pick out the perfect RV to celebrate 250 years of freedom.
Is your business getting found online or getting lost in the crowd? Hi, I'm Christy Bedeau with ESPN Arkansas, and I'm here to help you get your products and services found in today's digital world. Not only do we offer connections to the loyal Razorback fan base, but we can help you build, maintain, and grow your online presence. From world-class websites to streaming video commercials, we create the campaign that allows you to be found online and on air. I can help you create a marketing strategy built around your goals that works. Call me, Christy Bedeau, at 208-3012 for a free needs analysis, and let's create a marketing plan that gets you found.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
Final segment here on the Morning Rush. Did you guys happen to catch the young man, number 17, or excuse me, 17-year-old Mike Russell, and what happened in the U.S. Open?
Making the cut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
and
pretty cool.
Just having his dad on 18.
17-year-old in the U.S. Open gets to walk with dad up the 72nd hole on Father's Day at the U.S. Open.
And Mike, what a way to say thank you.
He checked with the USGA prior to doing this, and it finished tied for 40th. Yeah, 40th. And it was like dad got to do 18 with him. That was
he got
cool.
to carry the bag up the final hole. I saw the video, and that was pretty cool.
Switched down on caddy for that. So definitely something I know that they'll cherish for the rest of their lives. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Morning Rush. Appreciate Big C and Tommy. Halftime's coming up next with Big C, Matt Jones, and Colton Little next.
Attention Arkansas homeowners, are you dreading a lengthy, expensive bathroom remodel? With Bath Makeover of Arkansas, you can have your dream bathroom in as little as one day. American-made baths, walk-in showers, and walk-in bathtubs. Revolutionary laser-etched shower walls that will never chip, crack, peel, discolor, or fade.